on the 11th of March 2024, this was a day that I devoted to myself to draw every single day, or at least on most days, after being so complacent with drawing for years before that. Looking back now, I'm low-key ashamed of these art pieces, I'm not gonna lie, because at the moment, I thought they were like one of the best things I ever made. But looking back now, yeah. But one thing that I do appreciate though is the progress though. And mind you, this is just half of the progress that I made. That just shows how much that I felt that I grew this past year, and just like in Blue Lock, obsession towards your goal is everything. The only problem was that I didn't really have one. All I knew was that I just wanted to draw. That was the energy that I took into my first ever sketchbook, which isn't really a sketchbook, I lied, I know. I just wanted to draw so bad and I just wanted something to just put the pencil on. So I just took my closest notebook that I used for school and I just turned it into a sketchbook. And thus started my journey. Damn, bro. So mind you, I actually haven't looked at this in over like a year because again, I have 2 sketchbooks over here, which we'll cover later on in the video. I started off with the first page, just drawing manga. Now at this time, I've been reading a lot of manga. At the time, I was catching up to JJK and reading it weekly. Damn, bro, JJK is finished now. That's insane. That time, I was just drawing various different anime characters just from Chainsaw Man. Smoking at the back of the supermarket? Damn, bro, I gotta go back and read that. So what I will do is that I'll pull up references on my computer and then I will try and draw them while also breaking it down. So that was where I first started. The one thing is that I'm really good at copying stuff on paper, but my real issue lies in trying to draw stuff and trying to build it out from my mind. I'm, you know, making something out of nothing. Now, as always, you always need references for these kind of things, but I was severely handicapped, literally to the point that I wouldn't be able to make the characters that I would envision in my mind. So I was like, damn, bro, after flipping through these pages, and I think after going on for like a week of just having fun of just drawing random characters, I just decided to actually, you know, try and learn this shit. As a person that mostly specializes in realism and just photorealistic drawings, I kind of wanted to dwell more into the stylized side of things, as I feel that there's so much more expression, and that's the kind of vision that I see myself going into more as an artist. To be honest, I don't even really see myself as an artist like that, but in the art that I envision myself creating is kind of a more stylized kind of form. And so I just started my journey just from like day 8 to just trying to draw out faces from like different angles. I wasn't really fully doing it consistently because I'll still just fall back to my old habits of just drawing anime characters and just calling it a day, because I was also doing the 30-day drawing challenge that was inspired from PewDiePie to even start going back into drawing in the first place. You know what's crazy, bro? If I skipped that video and my friend didn't tell me to watch that video, bro, I probably wouldn't even make this channel today. That was my first ever video, and thank you guys for sticking around. Y'all are part of the lore now. Oh wow, dude, I remember making this page. Sasuke panel of him getting his eye taken away. Damn, I was locked in for no reason. One thing that I'm seeing now is that literally since back then I've been breaking down the hands, and that's because I've always been interested in hands. Now with JJK, Gege Akutami really loves to express his hands, and I really got attached to that. So I was like, I kind of want to do that too. And you guys will see the development in the hands, especially throughout the months and coming pages. And moving on, I kind of did some anatomy studies, and then I just did a Himiko Toga. I use that to warm up a lot. Just drawing some anime characters just really helps me warm up my hands. 13, you can see me like clearly trying to try and explore different angles, so not just like front facing ones. I kind of fumbled some of them. The Gojo on the right looks pretty good. I think I used a reference for that for sure. This actually doesn't look too bad for day 13, bro. Like for real. Have I regressed? Bottom, I really tried to properly do like a hand study. I think that was a bit too complex for my skill level at the time, but it's great to see that I was still trying to jump over that hurdle that I wasn't really good at the time. And to be honest, this isn't a bad start. And I just kept on moving forward. I kind of focused more on faces, kind of on some expressions, just nothing too crazy. Just trying to familiarize myself with the circle and where the eyes go, where the ears go, and where the mouth goes on faces. We're halfway across like the 30 days, and there's clearly some improvements, especially the hands too. Dog, like I don't know why, with the hands I was just so freaking obsessed. I think also because I was just really isolated at the time. Like I was obsessed with this shit. I don't know why, bro. I gotta get obsessed as this when it comes to like arms and like bodies and shit like that, because I feel like if I lock in with that, cracked, bro. Just took a lot of references from what I would see on Instagram. If you guys want to see a more detailed thing of this, I have a whole video of my 30-day drawing experience that you can check out. Did a bunch of face studies. It was just a lot. This one was an original drawing that I did. I still really like it. I would love to redraw this for sure. Let me know if you guys would want to see me redrawing some of my older artwork. This is a blast just going back and just looking at how I've grown. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I did post a video and I could rewatch it. But to be honest, ever since I edited and posted that shit, I threw this sketchbook away, bro. I didn't throw it away, but like I just put it away. Kind of smells bad too. Kind of tried to do like a self-portrait. One thing that I learned with this whole experience is that I definitely should have been more adventurous with the things that I was drawing and a lot more intentional with what I wanted to learn. Because I kind of just dove straight into it, just being like, I just want to draw, and I just grabbed whatever I wanted and needed, and I just did it, which is great. It's good to have that drive and that hunger to get what you want. But I think also like when you're going into this journey and you want to learn some shit, you need to have like a guideline of what you're going to practice steadily. Like I was watching Goblish's video of his 1 year of drawing looks like video, and one thing that I definitely respect from him is that he's very, very intentional of what he wants to learn and study, so he can just zero in and focus on that. So his productivity was just a lot better than mine, as I would stumble along the way being like, oh, I'll try this out, then I'll fall back on like the stuff that I'm used to. And I guess that's what kind of hindered me from kind of, you know, progressing as much as I did. But you'll see later on in the video and in later drawings and sketches that I did try and break through that kind of like hesitancy. That was a lot of work. During that time, I was just binging a lot of anime, and I was just really enamored by the style and just trying to see what looks good to me too. Or I just draw Gojo. I draw Gojo a lot, and you'll get some pages like this where I did try to make a manga. Looking back now, it's not bad. I just did it really off on a whim. So obviously you'll get some panels where the character doesn't really look the same, or the proportions are just way off. I know that in the second panel, it looks kind of doo-doo. Hey, I thought I was cooking, bro. But hey, I might have to redo this. Because I really enjoy manga that really likes to hold your hand into things and experiences and make you think that it's one thing, but really it was a whole other thing, so that when you go back to read it, it's a whole different experience entirely. Speaking of manga, was Day 26's Yuji. Just kept on going. There's really not much to be said. Like, you can clearly see that I have gotten a lot more confident with like face sides and perspectives and stuff like that. And then something just clicked on Day 29 with hands. I just went absolutely crazy. I was just like, I understand now, and I think I used some references for some, but for most of the time I really just locked in. Bro, I might need to go back to drawing every day again. The flow state that I really got into, it was like nothing that I ever really experienced before. As soon as I sat down, I knew what time it was, and I knew I knew what I wanted to do, and that was the end of day 30, and that concludes the first month. Now we're gonna speed up a bit, because after the following months I just kept on going, because I felt like I wasn't really there yet. That day 29 piece I feel like was just a fluke, because the following ones after that was just not it. Dude, notice how I don't draw any bodies, bro. That was my limit. I never touched bodies at all, bro. I was way too scared to do it. But one thing that I wasn't afraid to do though was to like try out different perspectives with the hands. Now, page 36 might be one of my favorite pages ever, so I'm really happy for that. Moving on, I'm slowly getting my groove back, you feel me? 38, I kind of took a hand of like trying to build out a whole body for the first time. Well, kind of like from the waist up, which is still a big thing, because mind you, throughout all of this, we don't see any bodies, bro. Just hands and faces, bro. I never really took the leap to doing the body. So I kind of made an OC, which will reappear multiple times. And then as soon as I touch the body, I just run away. I just never come back to it. I just go back to like facial stuff. Facials? Pause. I don't know what the words are, bro, but that's what I just kept on doing for most of the time. Just trying to, you know, stay consistent as possible. One thing that I definitely want to do when I get a new sketchbook though is that I want to focus more on bodies for sure. So with these two sketchbooks, I've completely finished it, more or less. We'll get into that with the second sketchbook. But one thing that I definitely want to do that will also help me with my expressions a bit more in my pieces would be the body. One thing is the hands, but like another thing is the body that holds the hand, if that makes sense. And then we get to one of my favorite pages still, the OC that we made from like a bit earlier. I still don't have a name for her. If y'all want to give her a name, I don't mind. I do want to redraw her though too. I think that concludes my first ever sketchbook, which lasted me all the way till, I'll say August. That whole time I got sick, so there were obviously some blank periods where I just didn't draw. That was why at some points it just didn't really look the best. But as I got better, I decided to take my hand again at drawing every day again. And also because I was just getting that itch back again. I was fiending. No Travis Scott. But yeah, so I picked up this one, which was way bigger than this one. To be honest, I feel like this one just looks way cooler. I still need to design this one. Day 0, when I was on a 2-month break, so I was not drawing for like a month and a half. I was just kind of focusing on myself a bit more and kind of editing a lot. I was like, you know what, man, let me just ease myself back into it. Some face studies with some hand studies. And I was like, yeah, I still got it with the hands, bro. Again, I just wanted to draw and I didn't have a clear vision of where I wanted to take this. And that was a lot of this sketchbook, bro. I was just venting on this thing, using it as an emotional outlet at most times. I'm so scared of bodies though, but you will see later on that I do try and venture out into it more. For those who did watch the 100 days video, I did add a few things to these pages too, so that's why some parts are a bit different. This page was one more done recently, just scribbling around just very roughly of like faces, proportions, and just experimenting with like different like face types because I don't want to get same face syndrome. I really like the little face on the bottom right. Now this is where we start to draw, you know what I'm saying, from the breast up. So hey, I'm making progress. I'm becoming more daring. I'm becoming more excited. Now did I continue with doing more like body stuff? No, straight back to faces. One thing that I do like though is that my confidence when it comes with faces has definitely become a lot better. But if you could see like on the bottom right over there, I did have some issues with like upper perspectives. So that was a flaw that I noticed looking back now. I don't know how to do that at all. Drew my OC on the bottom right. Yeah, as we keep going, I kind of venture out sometimes to like try and do the body, try and be more expressive with my style and just a bit more intentional. Even with this very rough draft of just like a guy sitting down, and I folded and then I just started drawing baddies again. Hey bro. So like you'll just see this pattern of me trying to be ambitious, and I try to draw a baddie again, try to do like the body a bit more. I didn't even use like references or anything to help me with this. I just decided to just work on what I thought made sense and what would work, which to be honest isn't the best way to learn. And if I was trying to get like a more realistic look, I should have looked at what was like, you know, actually right, you feel me? Or I could have just gone and looked at a woman. But you know what I'm saying? I don't go outside. Following along, I just kind of go back to doing hands because I kind of felt disconnected from the hands again. And I tried to fuse in all the stuff that I kind of like wanted to try and do to try and build up like the figure with like the hands and stuff as well. That kind of built up to like pages like this where I will draw like anime characters and then try and build it up from there by myself. One thing that I know for a fact that I never fumbled on was the hands, in my opinion. Now I actually tried to experiment with the body of my OC because to be honest, I never really thought of what bro looked like from like the shoulders down. So I kind of took like reference from like other things to just try and build it up the way I thought he would be. I really like the way I did the arms though. We draw some memes here and there. And as this is all coming along, I can definitely see like my style definitely coming up with like Kugisaki on like the bottom left, you feel me? I tried to draw her in my style as well. I kind of studied like faces going up, like kind of did that on the next page too, which I'm pretty proud of. I could have worked on the anatomy a bit more, but I'm definitely glad that I was definitely taking a stride from moving away from the references and just having to rely on them heavy and just thinking up of stuff on my own noggin. Now imagination doesn't always hit you when it hits. It always hits you like in random places. At times like this, I just kind of went over like stuff that I wanted to work on a bit more, so I kind of worked on like faces from like different perspectives. Obviously short-lived because I wasn't intentionally doing it, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, what do I think would look cool? And I just drew that. I didn't have a lot of time. I would screw around it sometimes like during class and stuff like that. And I think from day 26 you could definitely see like my kind of style kind of like coming together. I would just like take stuff that I wanted to draw, but like kind of make a barrier as to how much I can rely on the reference. Just like relying on myself and my own abilities to kind of build up the image that I wanted to see. You feel me? So rather than like the references just like being heavily relied on, I just kind of saw it. And then I was like, okay, bet I'll draw that, and just didn't really look at that. I think that's like the pause challenge, or I think the blind challenge. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people like finding success in this challenge too. Don't really know too much about it, but if you guys know, feel free to let me know down below. And if I should try it, because it looks pretty cool and I might fuck with it. Then we also get pages like this where it's just goofy shit. So now I'm actually starting to become more adventurous and try and draw more, you know, profile shots. I would just kind of flail around. Like I never really like actually sat down, looked at what a body looked like, because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put clothes on them after. And I like baggy clothes, so it would just look bigger on the character already. So I don't need to look at anatomy, right? Just led to like some pieces just looking kind of weird, like this one, bro's arm being a bit too big. I was getting kind of more confident with it. Oddly enough, I was learning how to draw like shoulders and shit properly. Now one thing halfway that I realized like doing this is that like I wasn't really being as creative enough, and I was like, damn bro, my sketchbook doesn't really look that fun to flick through. Not for the case of other people, but for myself, to be honest, because it just looked like random ass chicken scratches and stuff like that. It didn't express my mind and my creativity to the max potential that I wanted it to. So I kind of just took that step in like a few other pages just to really explore the whole page rather than just taking up a little bit of it, and really just turning it into art pieces and just, you know, having fun fun with it, to be honest, bro. And not being too enclosed into the mentality of, I have to be better. I was just like, I'm gonna just draw what I want. I still kind of have that mentality now, but I think I kind of found a good balance between the two. While I can still like try and practice something, while also, you know, try and make a cool art piece. And you know what I'm saying, give me that nice dopamine. It really just builds up to like day 35. Day 35 was one of my most like favorite pages that I did. Very, very underrated page in my opinion, bro. Again, you really see me like taking advantage of like slowly like panning down the camera of what I'm normally used to drawing, like from here to, you know, expanding it over to like adding the shoulders and, you know, half the abdomen. Hey, it's better than no abdomen. I could just draw Geodude, bro. You want me to draw Geodude, bro? And then I took a break, which was kind of weird, and then I came back and it just, yeah, I kind of lost some of my mojo. I definitely came back though. That's like one thing for me. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, you be going crazy for a while, then you just have like a stunt where it's just rough. Like, it's bad, bro. Shit that you're churning out is just not coming out the way you want it to. So for me, I just took a step back and then I came back. It didn't look too bad, bro. Was really into Dawn to Dawn at the time. That kind of gave me that artistic boost to, you know, express my shit better. Reverted back to me in my older sketchbook and just drawing shit that I liked. Also cause like I wasn't really fully clear what I wanted to learn on. I was just more of like, let me just try and channel what kind of art that I wanted to make and just try and visualize that, and then I can nitpick it and just see what I can improve from there and build upon that. So if I were to have an art goal, essentially it would be to make really stylized, expressive ass pieces that like really show a lot of color and a lot of emotion through it as well. So that was the kind of thing that I kind of channeled into page 41. It was also inspired from Trunks saying, if we set that android free, it will be the end of all of us. While also trying to still have that manga style that I loved so much. And then I tried to like fuse the two actually on this page, which I kind of like. So I'm actually go back to this and redraw that. You just kept on doing a bit more studies while also doing some original artwork as well. Like Baby Girl on the right, kind of like changed up Luffy a bit. And then we go back to doing like the really manga inspired shit. Just really taking control of like the full page, or at least trying to. Really like the shading on this, day 50. And I kind of take some ambitious choices, let's just say that. Like with this one, I just took like the face just looking to the left, worked on something that will be shown later, and the manga panels come back again too. And I really take advantage of that. Like mangakas really take advantage of like the panels and sometimes even break out of it to, you know, apply an effect or to make characters stand out more. Like in Hokozono's Kagurabashi most recent chapter, bro was moving so fast that he added speed lines to the manga panel itself, which I think was fire, bro. Was it kind of hard to read? A little bit, but I was also tired as fuck. Now at this point, I wasn't really drawing a lot because I was also recording a lot of videos for YouTube. I kind of focusing on that, so I didn't really have much time to really just like chill and practice on my own. But with the time that I did, I was just drawing shit that I liked. Again, I just regressed back to the first sketchbook. I feel like at times when I'm just like complacent, I just go back to drawing what I like, which I think is good. You don't always have to have the mentality of getting better. You can just enjoy making art. Surprise! Here we have all the arcane drawings I drew. This was a great show of the things that I learned too, with like the little practice that I did, so you can imagine how much further I would be if I dedicated just solely to anatomy and expression. And looking at it now, yeah bro, I definitely gotta lock in with that, bro, because to be honest, I was barely studying it, but I was still able to make shit out. I think I'm pretty good at like looking at things even in real life and breaking it down. That's what I would do when I'm not drawing. If I was to draw my hand, how would I draw it? If I was to draw this person's body, how would I do it? I don't do it all the time. I don't be staring at niggas, okay? One thing that I do appreciate a lot is the confidence that I had. Like, even with this Ambessa, I had no idea how to draw muscles, bro. This Vi piece and page is really good. Goth Betty comes back again. And I used like a picture inspired from Pokemon's selfie that she took with like the camera in front of her face. So I kind of used that as a reference to try to build out the hand first. Definitely want to redraw it and render it out. This page, I kind of did it on the plane. Plane was really shaky, so I was just kind of just like drawing whatever I felt at the time. This whole time I was traveling. Literally just doodling for real. December time, so I'm back home in Nigeria, so I didn't really have much time to draw. I lied, I did a lot. Look at this page right here, right? I don't really like how like the hair is a bit too low, because I was a bit too self-conscious about it, so I'd always just mess it up by making it a bit too low. And I guess it was my bad because I didn't do the circle things. My bad, bro. I thought I was at the point where I didn't need that. Turns out I still do. And we kind of see that done a bit more. We live and we learn on some Sonic shit. Literally just doing heads again. I really don't venture out. That's like one thing that I definitely want to do a lot more this year, where I'm definitely going to be focusing a lot more on posing and just body types, just so that everything fits into place and doesn't look like out of perspective. You want your shit to have form and to be recognizable, that like, oh yeah, this is a hand and it's closer to the camera, so of course it's bigger than the face. But until we get to that point, you're just gonna have to see these body shots. pause. Now we kind of drew quite a bit of things that I was pretty proud of, like Sailor. She was one of my favorite artists of last year. I'm probably gonna be my favorite artist this year too. Can't wait to see what she rolls out too. Nigga, drop an album, bro. Just drop an album, gang. And now we kind of see like more of like the recent things that I've drawn more now. I really like the Scarlet Witch piece. It just shows like how much more comfortable I've gotten with bodies too. I definitely just need to sit down and study this for sure, and I'm excited to do so now. Might have to do that 30-day drawing only bodies challenge, maybe. Let me know. I had a lot of pages in this sketchbook that were definitely just empty, so I might just have to fill those in, maybe make a video about it. I don't know, I know what I'm saying, but hey, you might want to check out this video here too though. Like and subscribe if you're new, and yeah, so I haven't clicked the video yet.